Hey guys, long time no see. So a lot of you sent me this video, this new video of Asmongold. He was talking about fundamental Islam for some time, and I think, as usual with Asmongold, he's made some pretty good points, but also there are a few small things that he doesn't know well enough about. So I'm here to just correct the record and maybe teach us all something a bit new on the Middle East and about the balance of forces and balance of ideas, as we might call them. So let's see what Asmon here has to tell us.
And I think that that's the reason why the UK, that's the reason why Europe as a whole, not all countries, but some of them have had so many problems with dealing with this level of extremism because they refuse to say what it is. That's the problem. And honestly, do you know who they should be asking for help with? They should ask the UAE. They should ask Qatar. They should ask Saudi Arabia to help.
Right. So here's the thing. He's talking about, of course, the countries that have Islam as a state religion, almost some of them, as a state religion, but who have also been able to live alongside it and not have radical Islam take over its government. And what I want to do here is take you to the Middle East and tell you how accurate is Asmon here, because he is accurate, but not fully. So here's our beloved Middle East. The countries that Asmon has referred to are Qatar, marked here, the UAE, the United Arab Emirates, marked here, and Saudi Arabia, marked here. Now, these countries are, of course, known as the Gulf states. Of course, we also have Oman, which is a bit of a unique thing on its own. We have Bahrain, which he did not address, and we have Yemen, which let's not get into that. So let's translate this into Middle Eastern terms. When Asmon says that these countries know a lot about countering extremist Islam, what does it mean in state doctrine? What it actually means, and we can translate that very precisely, what it means is countries that have outlawed the Muslim Brotherhood. Essentially, that's what he means. Because when we speak about the Middle East itself, we have three branches of Islam, I would guess, out of which two are dominant. And I'm not talking about the Sunnis and the Shiites here. I am talking about branches within the Sunnah that are ideological branches. We have the Muslim Brotherhood, which originates from Egypt, and it's today outlawed in Egypt, but that's where it came from. And we have the Salafi movement from Al-Sulaf, like the idea that we should behave like the Muslims of old, like the first generations of Muslims from Muhammad. Anyway, what's the difference between these groups? The Muslim Brotherhood essentially believes that Islam is the solution to everything, that all countries would be better by embracing Islam in a more pure form, and that the downfall of the Muslim world that we have seen in the past 100 years, essentially since the fall of the Ottoman Empire, and when Ataturk, the Turkish nationalist, cancelled essentially the Muslim Khulafa, the caliphate, the last caliphate, which was the Ottoman Empire. This entire downfall is explained by us not being pure and Muslim enough, and by being influenced by the decadent Western values. And of course, the final humiliation, the final nail in the coffin, is that the weakest people on earth, the Jews, the weakest people on earth, they were literally burned just a few years before that. These people have managed to beat us and humiliate us in what they would refer to as Palestine. Okay? So Islam is the solution to that. That's what the Muslim Brotherhood says. And how will we get power as Muslims? How will we cancel this terrible shame? How will we bring Islam back to glory, to overturn the West, and to make sure that the world is united under the banner of Allah? So the idea is that we, the Ahwa, the Muslim Brotherhood, The idea is that we would slowly build support by investing in education, in schools, in hospitals. And from there, we will build our strength. And then we will be able to move and do other things like, I don't know, jihad, right? Stuff like that. So that's the Muslim Brotherhood. And they are known to be, constant threats to any monarchy or Arab country's rule, because the Muslim Brotherhood, by definition, tries to take power. And so in Saudi Arabia, which does not want to lose power, the Muslim Brotherhood is banned. And this is what Asmon refers to as countries that know how to counter radical Islam. Because you could say that Saudi Arabia are radical Muslims. They are beheading people as an execution. They have Sharia law built into their constitution. The sovereign of the state is Allah. Okay, it's not even the king. Like, it is a Muslim country. It is a radical Muslim country, but it doesn't have the Muslim Brotherhood in it. The same goes for the UAE. Well, they're not as extreme, but they're still, the Muslim Brotherhood is banned. Same goes for Egypt. The Muslim Brotherhood is banned in Egypt. Right? Many countries have the Muslim Brotherhood banned. Now, so far, Asmon has it correct. He is correct in everything he said. But here's the issue. Qatar. Qatar does not have the Muslim Brotherhood banned. In fact, Qatar flirts with the Muslim Brotherhood. Qatar kind of likes the Muslim Brotherhood. And this is why the UAE and the Saudis hate Qatar, absolutely despise Qatar. Do you know who else kind of likes the Muslim Brotherhood and has Muslim Brotherhood affiliation in its rule? Well, Turkey. Turkey is a very Muslim Brotherhood connected country. And for this reason, partly for this reason, it is also a rival of Saudi Arabia. Also of Egypt, but Egypt is kind of changing its stance recently, trying to realize where exactly they fit in. The new Syrian regime is Salafi, which makes it closer to the Saudis, but on the other hand, it has a lot of Turkish influence, so that makes it kind of closer to the Ahwa, to the Muslim Brotherhood. So it's too early to tell. But anyway, what I wanted to show you guys here is that what Asmon said is true. But let's not get confused about Qatar. Okay, Qatar is a Muslim Brotherhood harboring country. Hi guys, this is me from the future, just letting you know that I missed something important. Hamas in Gaza is also Muslim Brotherhood affiliated, and not only is it Muslim Brotherhood affiliated, it is technically a Palestinian branch of the Muslim Brotherhood itself. So that's also worth noting, and hence why it's so close to Qatar and recently growing closer to Turkey. And also, Hamas is a good example of how the Muslim Brotherhood is actually quite flexible in enforcing its goals. For example, it had no problem to cooperate with the Shiites in Iran and in Lebanon in order to achieve its goals. So I just wanted to set that record straight as well. And if you would have asked anyone from the UAE or from Saudi Arabia to view what Asmon had to say, then he would also be able to pick up on that mistake. So I just wanted to set the record straight here. I don't know, maybe maybe I'll find myself being reacted to by Asmon. Who knows? But still, so that's what I have for you today. I just wanted to set the record straight. I haven't seen you in a while, so hello. And I guess I'll see you again soon. So have a good one and peace.